Previously on Dances with Dice. When last we left our heroes, Eisen, the half-elf cleric, Karma, the tiefling wizard, and Emiria, the elven monk, our heroes had finally returned home, gained themselves some new employees, and took some time to themselves to relax and regain after a hard journey. Now, with war on the horizon and the Legion's threat ever present, our heroes sit down for a meeting with the High Council of Neverwinter to determine their next steps and how to move forward. What new dangers and new adventures await our heroes this week on Dances with Dice?
Okay, so all of you guys have taken your personal time, and that personal time is happening basically over the span of a couple of months. But most importantly, one morning, Tony meets with all of you guys over breakfast and kind of brings you all together. It's been, I would say, about 2 months or so, maybe 3 months since you guys had retrieved the Eye of Kronos, and he calls you together over breakfast one morning. And as you all sit down, he kind of turns to all three of you. It's like, all right, Twinkle Toes and Assorted.
We found Eisen.
We found him. That didn't take long at all. That only took like 3.5 seconds.
Okay,
Just need to
Hannah,
make his ears longer.
Hannah, close the art thing.
Closing the art thing after 1 second.
So, as Tony calls you all together, it's like, all right, everybody. Well, I hope you guys have been having fun on your little vacation. And I hope you guys have been, and like looks over at you, Emiria. It's like, well, you certainly look, I don't know if taller is the way to put it, but you look different. You look good.
Buffer.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And his eyes kind of catch the tattoo running up your arm. It's like, very, very nice. So here's what we are dealing with. Here's what we are dealing with. We have to go and sit down with the War Council at some point today because we have to figure out what the fuck is going on. And we have to deal with how we are handling the artifact situation that we currently find ourselves in. And we have some reports from the outside on Legion activity as well. So that is happening. Looks like at a non-existent watch. It's happening in about 2 hours or so. We're having ourselves a nice little lunch meeting up in the upper district. It's going to be very nice, catered, beautiful restaurant. You guys would love it. I mean, he's still Tony.
I know. It's actually almost Eisen kind of like looks at him kind of like because he's always honestly like I've been worried, so I'm assuming Eisen would also, in character is a little bit worried about Tony. So to hear Tony kind of be a little bit more Tony and be like, "Oh, you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be delicious." They got a really, really, really good mutton.
Use they them pronouns.
The mutton is lean. It's Tony actually kind of reminds me of a little bit
literally
like
any butcher from SVU.
No, he reminds me of God, what's his freaking name from Princess Bride? The
Miracle Worker?
Yes, Miracle Max.
Miracle Max. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Just Billy Crystal.
A little, because he's like the mutton, like a really good, MLT sandwich, where the mutton's really lean. That's kind of like what he was channeling when he was talking about, lunch in the Upper District.
It's like you said he was dead. He's only partially dead.
Yes.
I will say this: all of you, if you'd like, you can roll an insight check on Tony.
See how Tony's holding up.
Because you can all notice his robes are a little ragged. He's not like as like he's still it's still Tony. He's still like hot as hell, but it's very much like a kind of
Insight?
bed-raggled sort of hot.
Insight?
Insight, yes.
That is a 16 plus 6. So
24.
22.
24, 22, Eisen.
17.
You all are able to see it. He's definitely putting on a front a little bit. Something. It's still pretty raw for him, knowing that his entire family effectively was slaughtered and he was unable to do anything about it. But he's definitely putting on a brave face. But you can tell just like looking at his clothes and like his beard isn't braided. It's clear he hasn't like. It's clear he goes like a day or 3 between showers. He's got like like there's like a food stain here or there on his robes and clothing. So it's like he's better, but he's not well, I think is the best way to describe it.
He's just depressed.
Yes, he's very much depressed at the moment, but like he's setting that aside because he's trying to set that aside as much as possible because he knows what is at stake right now. And as he finishes explaining that, Amiria, you hear a voice in your head, and
Mommy.
Where are you keeping Redarth's scale?
That's like, I had this idea earlier and I totally forgot to bring it up in the last session of getting it like strung or something by a jeweler, but also like drilling a hole in it doesn't feel like the best idea.
I'll say what you can do is like you can take it to a jeweler and like they'll set it inside of like almost like a locket. So like it's like this like
Wait, how big is it?
He gave you like it's not a huge scale, but I would say it's probably about the size of like maybe the size of like a tangerine.
Okay.
Like a tangerine or a small orange. Like it's big. But you're able to get it like set inside of a locket, so it's kind of like a pendant around your neck a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, can we retcon that?
Yeah, no, that's totally doable. We'll say you were able. You forgot it. We'll say a lot happened in the last 2 episodes, so we'll say you totally got that done. You feel it like kind of tucked against like your chest inside of your shirt. It's like you kind of feel it glow a little warm, and then in your mind, you hear Redarth's voice. It's like,
"This small one seems distracted with the end of the world at stake."
Well, yeah, that just seems fair. End of the world is pretty distracting.
Generally, one would not be distracted by the end times, but focused upon it. It is a curious thing to see what you have allied yourself with.
and then the pendant stops glowing warm, and the voice leaves your head. And at the same time all this is happening, the door finally bursts open, and you see Mathis, cloaked in traveling gear, his hair a little windswept, beard a little longer, beard a little longer as he steps into the place and just kind of gives a low whistle, and just like, I gotta say, kids, you have certainly cleaned up for yourselves. And Tony kind of like looks up from the breakfast, like, are we just running a fucking halfway house here? Just letting any schmuck into our place of business? Looking at
Do not call the captain a schmuck.
Yeah, I will have you know that man made me the man that I am today.
Oh, he is definitely a fucking schmuck then.
Oh my. Karma's just like watching this go down because she doesn't know whose side to take. She's like, she's just like, it's always fun being against like Eisen and Amiria, but at the same time, it's just like, but then that means being on Tony's side, but then also means going against daddy. But like,
I hate you.
Karma's having an existential crisis right now over some poached eggs and toast.
she's just like, wow, look at them fighting instead of me. Oh wow.
Mathis walks up to the table, grabs like some butter, grabs like a thing of buttered toast, and like takes up a plate, and sits himself down. And it's like, so, what seems to be the order of the day? And Tony kind of looks over at Amiria and Eisen. It's like, okay, so you understand? A stranger kicks in the goddamn door, and we're now just letting him eat our food. Apparently,
He's not a stranger.
he is a stranger to me.
He's their dad.
You see, like the hamster wheel spinning in Tony's head right now, because Tony knows Amiri is like 200, and this dude is a human, and like he looks like his like eyes flash between like Mathis and Eisen. It's like, okay, I could see that, like that one I could see, and then looks at the 200-year-old elf, back to the graying human, back to the 200-year-old elf. At least,
Yeah, make that math work.
at least 60% of that is bullshit.
He's like their adopted dad. He like raised them on a ship or something, or like they love him like that.
I'm still
Look,
older.
We know him. He's trustworthy. Just let it be.
He thinks I'm pretty.
I hate you.
Mathis winks at you, Karma.
Also, Daddy thinks I'm pretty too.
I slap him.
Oh my god, Dad, no.
He rubs the side of his face. Like, yeah, all right, that's fair. I am a guest in your home. I know the rules. No fucking on the table.
People eat on that table.
Anywhere.
You have a brothel in the back fucking yard.
That is a separate building.
Anywhere is fairly all-encompassing, son.
Does that mean I have to be in the brothel?
I'm going.
Eisen does the finger up and then fuck.
It's like, damn, defeated by my own grammar.
I said, are you less okay with this for a completely different reason that you're not telling me?
What?
Nothing.
At that, Tony's like, well, this has moved beyond my area of expertise. I will see you all at lunch. And he like kind of hops off the stool, gives like a lazy mocking salute to Mathis, and then as you walk by, and then as he walks away, he does excuse me,
Coughs hysterically.
yeah, he does a very intricate, very well planned out like handshake fist bump combo with Barry. Like he hops up on the bar and does
What the fuck?
like a 15-second like dap combo, and then walks out the back door. And Barry's like, he's a good friend.
Okay.
Are we still asleep? Is this a weird dream we're all having?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mathis
I
kind of
slap Eisen to see if this is a dream.
Mathis takes Tony's seat at the table, turns around and is like, God damn, that is a big bird. So
You want to? Hold on. Hey Barry, make him the special.
It's like 8 in the
Shut up.
morning. What's wrong with you?
Shh.
it's 8 in the morning. Barry special, only 5 p.m. on. Sorry, boss.
Yeah, I am your boss. What the fuck?
Maybe I'm his boss.
Barry's his own man.
My
Oh, is Amiria his boss?
brother said if anyone ever gave me shit, he said to say, and then you watch as he shrinks himself and like stoops over down to like as close to 5 feet as he can get, and then like in perfect mimicry of Rimond, you remember I can call in many favors if I so desire, and then raises himself back up. I don't think it was a threat, but he's a threatening individual. And like turns around and goes back to cleaning a glass.
Is everyone in this bar fucking weird?
Yes.
I mean,
All right.
except for you, Amiria, apparently.
It's like you all hear a very distant
Hooray.
explosion come from Draft's towers. Just fuck.
Oh my god, she knows how to swear.
Mathis turns to all of you. It's like, so we had obviously only had a brief time to chat, but I understand that we have some end of the world bullshit that we have to deal with. So, you want to fill me in first, or would you like me to tell you what I've been looking into?
Well, we have a meeting at the upper district. Do you have something better to wear?
He looks like he
Are you
looks
saying
down.
he needs to take all that off?
Fuck.
I wish you were dead.
Amirius said that out loud.
Hold on. Do
I just like
hold
the
on,
idea
do I
of like
have-
that
have
having and
something
Amiria being
useful?
like looking at Karma. I wish you were dead.
And Karma's like,
That was in and out of character.
yeah, and
But Morgan, I love you.
And Karma's like, ha, join the fucking club.
But I love Morgan.
We all love Morgan, especially Django. But
Eisen,
you know what?
Eisen uses shocking, like puts his hand on her, like just grabs her face and
Who?
shocking grabs.
Who?
Yours.
Eisen grabs your face.
All right,
Karma?
roll
Yes.
all right, roll the hit.
Roll to hit Karma, I guess.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, Karma's really easy to hit.
No one hates me.
No, everyone loves Amiria.
Everyone loves Amiria. I swear to God, I will kill you in real life. I will kill you in real life.
Is it a nat 20?
I hate this man. I hate him.
All right, roll damage. It's like, I mean, it's a cantrip. It can't hurt that much.
It's not even that bad.
Oh, I know. Oh no, it's 3d8 actually.
Well, I can
No, because it's a cantrip. It levels up as you level up.
Oh god damn it!
It's 3d8.
Of non-lethal damage. No.
Yes.
won't kill me with 3D8.
Yes.
Even if you max out, you
Non-lethal
won't.
lightning.
Even if you wait, no, because if you maxed out, even if you maxed out with D20 doubles, it won't kill me.
Yes, that non-lethal lightning strike.
I wasn't trying to.
I'll let you say. I'll just let you say that you can shock her and then like all of her hair like just poofs out if you
She,
want
like,
to do
break-
that.
That's
Oh, my-
all I wanted to do.
Okay.
Like, I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
It's
trying.
the- it's
I'm
the-
not trying to invoke a ton of damage here. I'm just trying to.
Karma,
like-
it's the worst. It's the worst like static shock you've experienced in your entire life.
Her braids, because usually she brings her thick ass curls into braids, and like the little ties that she usually puts in the braids just snap, and so all her thick as fuck curly long ass hair just.
Yeah, she's got a big old like half fro going on
She's
right
just
now.
her curly hair, her hair is so curly and thick but it's also like long, so it extends down her back.
Yeah, so it's just like this giant.
For
you're,
Morgan's reference, Morgan will understand this. It's like Sage's hair before Sage cut his hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
okay. But white.
You're now like 30% hair at this point. Like it is just like huge. And like it's like as Matt's like, yes, I suppose I've got something. Just based off of the reception I got from the dwarf, I'm assuming I'm probably not welcome at a meeting of some sort of high council of a city that I have never been in. Also, I'm a pirate.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Yeah, but he's got us. We're kind of a big
What's
deal.
your word good for?
What?
Do they like you here? Do they like you enough?
I mean, I'm pretty good in with the guard, you know.
I kind of like brandish my sash just a little bit.
All I'm saying is this. I am happy to come along if you would like, but I don't know necessarily how potent my info is coming from me.
All I'm saying is, you wanted to know what's happening. This is where we're gonna know what's happening. We don't know everything that's happening yet. So either you park your ass here, and you get Barry that's a better option. You stay here, and Barry will make you some drinks.
I like that plan.
I was like,
My room?
you could sit here and have drinks with Barry, or you can come with us. And I'm like, fuck that. That is a
Karma
better
slides
option.
in.
I have already
put
put my hand over Karma's mouth.
It's like my room.
My room is the Amiria.
No, I saw that shit coming, and I'm cutting that off.
Amiria knew that Karma was gonna be horny on me, and Amiria was like, "Fuck no!" Boom.
I think Amiria with her new way of the monk might get some innate spellcasting. Honestly. Oh no, you don't. That was the other one you were thinking about. Oh no, that's not true. Amiria, you do still have that level. You have you can pick any spell that you can imbue into your arm tattoo that you still have to do.
Tattoo twins.
Oh gosh, I was thinking I actually made a list during the
What
break
level?
and was going through it.
It is a level 1. It is any spell that can be cast at a level 1 power. So if it can if it scales upward, it can scale upward, but it has to
So
at least
any level 1 spell.
any level 1 spell.
Karma still has the tattoo that has the burning hands
Yes, you do.
spell in it.
Yes, you do.
And we're talking one spell permanently, right?
This is one spell permanently, but it is not prevented from getting larger over time.
Okay.
That is the magic. So that's where it's like the spell matters, because if it upgrades over time, then you can.
Okay, then I might need to take another look.
That's fine. You don't have to think about it right now.
Okay.
So Mathis is like, okay, that's fine. I will stay at the bar. But I still think we should go over, because I'm still a little in the dark on all of this. So, obviously, end of the world shit. Turns to Amiria. You are friends with a dragon.
Yes.
And I have not, and turns to Eisen, I have not seen you for a year. But whatever you're chasing fucked with my ship. Turns to Karma. I assume if you're hanging out with these bunch, you're also tied up in all of this. So,
Yes.
what do I need to know that is going to make me able to do things or be helpful?
All right, so there's this racist bunch of people called the Legion. They're trying to kill basically everybody who's any kind of a half-breed or anything like that.
So,
it's
like
if you ever,
Eisen.
if you ever, yes, like me.
Dirty half breed.
Fuck you.
You love me. You think I'm pretty? You tell me.
I'll say, if you want to, for brevity's sake,
I was gonna just
Pick-
I was gonna do like a really just fast, abbreviated,
I'll say for brevity,
funny thing of the whole thing, and
Yeah.
then Karma fucked it up.
I'll say for brevity's
What
sake,
doesn't
you
Karma
can
fuck up?
For brevity's sake, you can just kind of here's our adventures up to this point.
Fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna give him like a TLDR.
No, do it, coward. Do it, coward.
If you can knock it out in under 60 seconds, I'll keep it in.
Oh my god. All right, hold on. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna order all of this. All right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
All right, so I went on a mission. I ran into these fuckers. There used to be another fucker, but she had to go off to do something else. I'm still kind of angry about that. We found out that there are these world-altering devices and/or artifacts that we have to find. We found some of them. One of them was a lightning spear. One of them was a fire sword. We ended up fighting a god of death. A philosopher's stone. We had to fight some really douchey asshole for that one. Summoned a unicorn princesses. Giant man person ran
Death
off
robot.
with giant death. Well, I wasn't
Your
talking
boyfriend went
about
to
him.
hell.
It's not my boyfriend. One of my friends went to hell. It's kind of my fault. I have to fix that. There's an army of racist people that's going to attack the town. The city. We have to do something about
We
that.
found a nice crown.
They wiped out that dwarf you guys met. They wiped out his people. They took some of the artifacts. We have to get the artifacts back. There's more artifacts that we have to get, and we have to do it before they invade the city.
Oh, that was like 54 seconds.
Math is just kind of sitting there, just like fingers like kind of tented in front of him. Reaches over, grabs a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah, I also learned how to be a mage.
grabs a cup of coffee, just downs the whole thing. It's like, I will be staying here and talking with your friend Barry. Oh, that was Tony's like, I'll be staying here and hanging out with Barry. But that was helpful because in my travels after the ship went down, some bitches in purple who sound like the Legion or like whatever that weird group
They
was.
do wear purple.
Right. They tried to recruit me. I went to like one meeting. It got real freaky real fast and then dipped from there. But the problem with that is that in that meeting, they had expressed that they had taken, I guess in terms of, and like he kind of like pulls a map out of like Faerun as a whole and then like takes like a piece of charcoal and then just draws a line right down the middle of Faerun and then like kind of like roughly shades in the right side of it. Right. Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, they own that now.
Sorry, what?
And then this is us.
With nukes.
And he like holds the map up, and so like half of like the map of Faerun is shaded in charcoal. It's like, yeah, so they had a map up there and it was showing like territory that they owned. Yeah, that's theirs now, according to them. This was about like, I don't know. This was about 3 months before I got locked in the town for a year.
Wait,
So
you went to it was just like a random meeting? Or was it like a higher ups meeting? Was it just like for recruits or like what was it?
there was
Well, there's some guy there who kind of sounds like a complete and utter fucking asshole and has like weird like cracks and shit on his skin. Says toodles a lot.
There's a lot of people in this world that say toodles.
No, didn't see anyone that looked like that. Saw the person there was this like elf woman, big ass armor, paladin of some kind. Had like the armor was very old, like old. Like looks at Amiria, older than you, old.
Rude.
Your dad just called
You're-
you old.
You are a barometer for time. I'm sorry.
Fair.
But it had like a symbol scratched out of like the breastplate, but you could just make it out. It looked like a white skull and something else there.
What the fuck is the god? What's the name of God of Death?
Mercule.
Is that the?
You would
Yeah.
recognize that symbol.
Oh fuck. That's a paladin. She must be a paladin of Mercule.
Roll a Eisen and Karma can roll this. Roll a history check, please. Or if you've got the notes written, you might.
15
15?
flat because it's intelligent, right?
Yep.
I got history.
Mm-hmm.
That is only a 13, unfortunately.
Plus
Plus what?
your intelligence, right?
That's
No,
that's
history.
just it. My hit plus 5. It was 8 plus 5,
Oh,
13.
okay.
So Eisen, you're able to very briefly remember this. It's like, wait a minute. When you guys had like found that like the Legion ship and like that the note from Q, you had remembered that it was written to both a Tiberius and a Lilandra, and from the last meeting you had with like the High Council, you remember Lilandra is one of the Elvish commanders, so this could be her, Lilandra, who was the commander of their naval forces and of their spy rings. So it feasibly
Fun.
could be her who was leading this meeting.
I relay that information.
Okay. So he's like, she never gave a name, so all I can tell you is, okay, well, I was trapped in the town for a year, and this was 6 months before. So for a year and a half, they've at least owned that part of the continent.
Openly or
They weren't.
in.
That really wasn't brought up. I feel like it felt like a flex of some kind. Like they're trying to, for those who weren't interested, trying to bully us into seeing we already have this, whether it's obvious or not. But if you didn't know about it and it hasn't maybe made it this far west, they could be lying, or they could just be keeping it under wraps. Who knows?
Well, this is definitely good information to take to Andromeda.
So, I guess here's the final question. How can I help? What do you need me to do? I don't know much about what's going on, but I know how to wield a sword and throw a spell, and I feel like that could be helpful.
Well, do we have a standing navy? Does Neverwinter have a?
You're not sure. You know they have a standing army, but you don't know about a navy. That'd be a question you'd probably have to ask at the council.
He is a seasoned captain.
He's a seasoned pirate. That is true.
Wait, I have an idea.
Go right ahead.
Mathis, did you break ties with them at the end of that meeting?
I mean, I walked out during like a break for like food, so whether they remember me or not is up in the air. What's your plan?
Wouldn't hurt to have a man on the inside.
I mean, I'm willing to make an attempt if you want. Just
You're
remember,
not gonna get yourself killed, are you?
it's less about getting myself killed and more about, again, this was a year and a half ago, technically. I've been stuck in a town for a year.
I mean, it's kind of a good excuse.
Oh, that's fair if they're looking for these
Confusing
artifacts you were talking
excuse.
about. I have first-hand knowledge, I suppose.
Like, I was stuck in that town, and then those ruffians, those
Or
kids,
I am not going to refer to you as ruffians.
that really sexy tiefling.
I hate you.
I know.
Can I really wish I was a higher level of cleric and could cast silence.
You did this to yourself.
shut up.
You got your
I was thinking about putting sleep into my hand so I could just
Also-
put Hannah to sleep.
Also,
I wish I could
Her
put
hit points are
myself to
too
sleep.
high.
dominate person.
Damn it.
Ayo, Eisen, what's good?
Oh my God.
Jesus. Fuck.
Shut the fuck up forever.
Wish someone stop me from doing the things that I do sometimes.
Just out of like out because I don't know what you wrote about Mathis other than what
Mhm.
I knew. Is he with like relations with other pirates? How well is he known amongst like the pirate like community, I guess?
Well enough. Is
he respected? Is he, well
I-
known?
like-
Is he
as much
He's
as
on
any
all the
as much as any
forums.
decent captain would be known, like amongst like larger crews. Like he's not the biggest fish in the sea. He's also not like a tiny fish, but there's certainly, and both you and Amiria would be aware, there's larger crews out there. Like there's actual organizations, and like they call themselves like kings of the pirates, but it's more like I've got this small island that no one can take from me, sort of thing. Like it's like very petty kingdoms, sort of pirates. Mathis is not really at that level, but he's certainly respected enough that he's got like pull, but like he's not the biggest dude out there.
Because I was gonna ask if he, because we need more support, and if he could convince the pirates that this is as much, because pirates are mostly consist of varying races. They're the outcasts of society anyway. If he maybe could go to them and propose, and we could even talk to Andromeda about it, that if he were to tell if the Kingdom of Neverwinter would be willing to give the pirates amnesty and control of the islands they currently possess, with an agreement of never attempting to take it from them, would they be willing to back us? And since most of them are like most pirate crews would have half-breeds, half-bloods, they would eventually become targets anyway.
That's certainly an idea. I'll say because 2 pretty decent ideas have been presented, and this is kind of like a side mission sort of thing. I'll say you guys can pick between what Amiria proposed, which was can attempt to infiltrate, or definitely can have Mathis try to go and convince the pirate crews of the necessity of banding with Neverwinter. And I'll also allow you, if you'd like, you can make this decision after you have your meeting with the High Council.
Okay.
Okay?
Because I think they're both viable plans. It would just be like whether Neverwinter would be willing to back the idea.
Yeah.
Because that would be, if they're not willing, then that may not be enough for the pirates to...
I'll say it's like Matt's like, listen, I feel like we're all gonna have a little bit more knowledge once you guys are done with whatever your lunch is. So, and he like kind of like looks at like a watch, like I'll let you get to that, and then once we have, I guess all the books in the library, we'll be able to make a decision from there. Because I'm here to help as much as I can. I live in this world. It'd be nice if it didn't end prematurely.
All right, so
That sounds settled then. I'm gonna go get dressed.
Wait, are you naked?
I assume he's just like not wearing armor.
Oh.
Who wears armor to
I was
the
gonna
breakfast
say.
table?
well, actually, he was gonna go get in his. He's not gonna tell anybody. You can cut this part out, but I'm gonna, or I'll just wait. They can. I'm gonna, because they didn't see, or they did, didn't they? What I went to go see Andromeda in.
Yeah, no, yeah, you were wearing that the last time.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure you were like you're like very regal outfit, right?
I only wore that once, and that was when I went and was gonna. She had like that
Gave
award
you
that I
the
that I
award.
didn't accept yet.
Yeah. I don't think you wore anything special to the other meeting.
No, that's what I'm gonna wear that one.
Oh, you're wearing that one. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So, no one would have seen this yet. So,
Yeah.
Eisen comes down dressed in a very regal, very beautiful, like blue and silvered coat. Almost like a duster, kind of like reaches down his back. Armor fits very comfortably underneath it. Shield strapped to his back, sword at his side. Very formal, very beautiful.
This was the fancy outfit.
Yeah.
This
I will
I think
fix
they
it.
did. She did see it, but Imelda.
I remember this. I remember this
Amiria
outfit.
hasn't.
Amiria
Okay,
hasn't seen
Amiria
it. I
hasn't
remember
seen
this
it.
outfit.
Amiria, you see Eisen wearing quite literally the nicest clothes he has ever worn in his entire life that you have known him.
Morgan, think Percy's blue coat.
Yeah, actually, that's a very fair description of it. Only instead of being like blue and gold, it's like deep. It's like lightning blue and silver, like almost like a whitish blue and silver.
Oh no, it's a dark blue.
Oh, it's
Like,
dark blue.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was lighter blue, like to more match lightning.
No, it's a dark blue with and it was supposed to be dark blue with silver silver
It was like silver trimming,
like
and
silver
stuff.
trimming and like different like other like the metals and stuff on it were in gold.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I mean, imagine Percy's coat like that, Morgan. You'll get an idea of like how nice this looks.
I wolf whistle at him and I say, well, damn, I didn't think you could clean up.
You know, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
And then like Mathis like kind of like with like a fork of like waffles in his mouth, like none of them good.
Shut up, old man.
And with that, I'll say like Tony, like
Hey, you be nice to your father.
Respect your father.
you thought he was dead. With that, Tony arrives to kind of lead you guys off to your lunch date at this point.
Only I'm allowed to yell at my dad.
As you pass through the city, you guys definitely notice a change in the air, especially because it's been a couple months since you guys were technically here. Less people on the streets, certainly. You see, obviously, a tighter guard presence. There's an uncomfortable stillness to the air. Really, it feels like a waiting for a pin to drop within the city itself. The whole like town radiates with this energy, this tension, just knowing something's coming, but not knowing when and not knowing if they can stop it. And as you make your way to the upper district and the palace of the palace of the government, it is a flurry of action since the last time you were all here. The staffing seems to have doubled. There's no quiet elegance that remains here. It is just a flurry of activity. You see couriers running in and out. You see soldiers stationed at every corner. You guys are led very swiftly, not into the Grand Council chamber you were last time, but now into a slightly less opulent, less large, but still like, you know, like kind of like a lounge or like almost a library, where Andromeda and the Lord Commander of the City Guard are there waiting, and they look at all three of you arriving with a heaviness and a very tired look in their eyes. It looks like they have not had a good night's sleep for some time. But Andromeda greets all of you with like a soft, tired smile, motions for you to sit. And Tony kind of like sits down and starts pacing the floor. It's like, well, Andy, you know what we know. What are we working with here? Andromeda just kind of turns and looks at the Lord Commander, and the Lord Commander's like, well, in the last few months since you've departed and returned with another artifact, the Legion has continued their advancement forward. At last reports, everything west of the mountain ranges, everything east of the mountain ranges, is firmly in their grasp. As it stands now, we are unaware of any current number of civilian casualties, but we assume that they are high. There were multiple communities of... He just kind of trails off and just shakes his head. Well, we know how they operate, and we must assume the worst. In terms of our own presence, the guard has been resummoned. We are at full strength, what that means.
Why are we not recalling the outward cities and towns?
We have. It's from these refugees that we are getting some of this information. Yes, Karma.
I know who has the Phoenix Blade.
We assume it's the High Inquisitor, but any information you can provide will help.
Are you aware of who the High Inquisitor is? Do you have any information on that front?
No, just the alias, Q.
Karma's kind of like fidgeting.
Does Eisen recognize it? Because he had that talk with her.
I would say you would recognize this fidgeting, yes.
She's kind of like rubbing the bracer on her left forearm again, as she usually does.
Are you familiar with the Island of Guidance? Is the council familiar with the Island of Guidance?
Andromeda looks... I'm more familiar than most.
Are you aware of its politics, its history, and what has recently happened?
Karma, because you are aware of what Lady Andromeda is, you watch as her eyes, like, she blinks, and then for a moment her eyes turn into those of, like, a tiefling, and then she blinks again, and they're back to her normal eyes, like, I have some experience, yes.
I have reason to believe that the High Inquisitor Q is none other than Quinn Bloodtune. One of the from one of the noble families of the Island of Guidance.
Did you get the fly?
I got it.
Nice.
God damn. I was like, what in the fuck was that?
Hey, we killed a fly. That's
There was a fly in front of my mic, and I fucking killed it. Sorry.
Andromeda. Andromeda. Just like you hear like a deep sigh of resignation. Just we had reports of terrible things coming out of the island, and she looks at you, Karma. I won't pry, but I'm sorry. Whatever that's worth.
Thank you.
If what you say is true, then we have a larger problem on our hands. The fallen Azamar, Mikhail, we already know is working or leading the Legion. If the heir to the Blood Tunes is also involved, our enemy has just become much, much more dangerous. And she turns to Aizen and Emiria, if what you say is true, in regards to the attack on your old ship, and related to the eye that you have just delivered, it appears we have the dark mages to deal with as well. These are 3 very powerful enemies. We are not strong enough to deal with this on our own. So, and she kind of like spreads her hands to all 3 of you. In the time that you have been away, we have done our best to secure our position. Some of the larger cities, Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, have agreed to send along additional forces, but we are still outnumbered almost 2 to 1. I had hoped you might bring better news. Do you have any good news?
Looks at Emiria. Kind of gestures. We do have one.
Oh, yes. I hold up the scale. I was like, what the fuck are you guys referring
Stop
to?
thinking about your little blue friend. This is not the time.
My blue friend that doesn't understand when I say I have some stuff to show you.
She just wanted to see a cool rock.
She wanted to see a really neat rock.
She got a cool sword. She did see a cool sword. All right, sorry, Emiria, go ahead.
I whip out my sword. Fuck.
What'd you do?
Whew, I just choked, but I'm good.
Okay, as long as you're okay.
I was coughing so bad I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, I hold up the scale and say, we have 1 ancient dragon on our side, but that's hardly an army.
Emiria, sorry,
We have 1 dragon, but
Andromeda.
Hardly an army. God, an ancient dragon.
And
army.
Andromeda holds her hand out to you, Emiria. It's like, and just like, kind of like at like motioning, like may I see the scale?
Yeah.
So she takes it. She like rubs like 1 finger over it, and you see this like soft, almost like whimsical smile kind of cross this small gnome woman's face. She's like, oh, it has been many, many years since I have seen one of these. She hands it back to you. Emiria is like, you are very blessed if you found a way to get that crotchety bastard to give you aid.
I'm sorry, what?
And Emiria, you feel like the scale light up warm, and it's like,
That bitch.
Andromeda.
oh, Andromeda.
Well, we don't know that. It's only
I know, but,
only
like-
she can hear it.
She definitely fucked.
I like look at the scale and then look back at Andromeda and like kind of make a face like, huh?
She is.
Huh?
I see she has not let our breakup go.
Oh. Wait, do we hear this or is it
No, this
only
is just
Emiria?
Emiria.
Oh my god.
Amiria's just like,
That crotchety
Morgan,
old
Morgan,
bastard.
Morgan, please describe Amiria's reaction for the rest of us.
Like, open mouth, but like a little bit of a smile, and then she's looking at Andromeda and pointing at the scale, and then Andromeda, and then at the scale, and then at Andromeda, and then at the scale, like...
And the Red Earth ends it with, it's like, I kept my end of the bargain and returned the treasure. I don't understand what she's still angry about.
Oh my god.
And the scale goes quiet for a moment, and then Andromeda kind of like just raises one eyebrow at you, raises an eyebrow at you, Miria, and then she blinks, and her eyes turn draconic for a second. She blinks again, and she's like, and all she says is, "Treasure doesn't mend a broken heart."
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, so she can hear it.
No, she's assuming,
Oh.
because because Amiria did just go like scale Andromeda scale. It's like she was like pointing back and forth, so Andromeda can kind of like suss it out from there.
I love that.
I do the zipper motion over my mouth and then sit back down.
Wait, what?
Wait, no, tell me!
Andromeda's like, I am happy that we have an ally as powerful as Redarth. That certainly helps even the scales for now.
Haha, scales.
Fuck, I didn't even.
Dragon
I
scale.
didn't. That wasn't even intentional.
Da-dum.
You see now as a courier like kicks the door in, and runs up with the scroll, and the Lord Commander holds his hand out like, okay, like another order and things, and like he rushes right past you and then hands the scroll directly to you, Eisen, and like the entire room is just kind of like,
Bitch.
what the fuck? As you take the scroll, you look at it and you look at the seal, and it is a beautiful blue and gold wax seal with an emblazoned, very fanciful A on it. Would you like to open it?
Wait a minute. Eisen thinks he knows who it is, but he opens it.
The note reads, "To my dearest friend,
Yes.
I understand that you have a bit of a kerfuffle on your hands down south, and while we're wrapping things up here, I understand some rather ornery bastards have decided to try to take your city. Well,
Eisen kind of like, as he's reading it, he's like, my city.
so once we've wrapped things up here, myself and the fleet will be making our way south, because nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to fuck with you but me. And it is signed Archilarius of Agravain.
Oh my fucking god.
Eisen's kind of kind of still chuckling at the fact that he referred to it as his city, because Eisen's an Eisen's very full of himself. And looks up from the letter and it says, well, it looks like our dragon friend won't be our only ally. And then relays the information of Archilarius and his fleet.
Andromeda gives like a soft smile. It's like, I have heard many stories of the magical flying ships of Agravain. It will be good to have them on our side. Though, it's of course reliant on their ability to wrap up their problems up north, which... And she turns to the Lord Commander, and the Lord's like, yes. Unfortunately, the battle to the north has been extended, tedious, and not going as well as this letter would like to pretend. I don't know if we could count them as the most firm of allies when the time comes.
Well, I have a second proposal. You have heard of my old teacher. You might know him. Under not the best of terms, he used to be a pirate.
Andromeda kind of chuckles a little.
Currently.
Andromeda kind of chuckles a little bit. It's like, I believe the term is privateer when we employed him, but yes.
Eisen kind of raised an eyebrow, like,
All right. Well,
He was very handsome as a young man.
I didn't need to know that.
Why did Andromeda fuck everybody?
Cause she can.
I mean, good for her, but like,
it's
damn.
not necessarily. She's not necessarily fucking everyone. It's
She's
more
just
just like she's more just like, I am an ancient changeling. I have been around for literal centuries.
Yes. And, well,
I have a proposition. Since he does have a relatively decent standing with the pirates in the area, I propose if the lady would be willing to, there are
the petty island kings, yes?
well, seeing as they're so petty, maybe we let them keep their petty islands in the promise that they might come to our aid.
As somebody who's been on a ship before, the concern, of course, is never the islands, and more what they need to maintain them. For if you've ever been there, you know that island is being charitable, and large rock is a little bit more of a description.
What?
They can't grow anything on the islands. They're pirates for a
the,
reason.
the islands are basically just their bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less of an island and more of a rock with a port.
Yeah, you want to see a fucking island? Wait, no, I don't have that island anymore. It's gone.
I mean, it's still there. It's just very on
You good?
fire.
I'm fine.
Eisen looks at her kind of dead in the eye, and he just like,
With all due respect, can beggars really be choosers right now?
I never disagreed with you. The concern is always, and will always be, the fact that it's when you win the war, the bill that comes due. If we give everything away on the chance we win, it eventually comes back in some way. And I know you're smart enough to know that if we guarantee them an island, they're gonna want more eventually.
Were you ever really gonna go take it back if it's so worthless?
It's less about the island.
You give them an inch, they take a mile.
She blinks her eyes again and like stares directly at you, and her eyes go from like the soft brown to a flaming, like blazing red, and she blinks again. It's not about the land. It's not even about who has it. It's the principle and the people that they may harm. But I do see your point. But if the assumption is that we can win this, even with their help, and we have to, and she looks at all of you, and we have to assume that we will win and survive. We can't give away the store just because the neighbor's on fire. We just have to put out the fire.
Well, then maybe we go and we reason with them under the assumptions that they themselves will burn in the fire.
Now that is an option. She looks to Amiria. You've been around long enough to know a thing or two. What do you think? What is our best option? We have allies. We have potential. And she looks over at the Lord Commander. We know they're moving west. We are as strong physically as we are going to be. What would you do? As that question hangs in the air, our heroes contemplate all of their next moves. That is where we will end the session for today. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice, and when you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we'll use you as named NPCs in the show. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join us every single Tuesday for new episodes of Dances with Dice.